I want to thank LifeLock, LifeLock.com. Enter Adam for this half of the show. TrueCar.com. Download that app, and Geico.com. And let's welcome back to the show our friend Artie Lange. Good to speak to you, Artie.
Hey, Adam. What's up, brother?
I'm doing well. The book is called Wanna Bet? A Degenerate Gambler's Life to Living on the Edge. Is it Life to Living? Did I get that right?
The thing about books nowadays, they have to have that after title. They have to have that long paragraph after a title, I guess, to explain exactly what the book is to people. And we just treat people like they're insanely dumb, you know. Like The Great Gatsby was just The Great Gatsby. It wasn't The Great Gatsby, a guy to a guy who was rich and lives in Long Island with an egg harbor. You got to let it play out. And I never know what they make up the second part, so they threw in degenerate. You know, they improvise.
Is it
Guide?
Yes. Life was confusing me.
Good catch.
Hey, Max Pata.
I don't think it's worded properly, and I don't know if it's a guide.
Is it guide or life?
I have it right here on Amazon.
Okay.
A Degenerate Gambler's Guide to Living on the Edge.
Max Pat, this may be a brand new discussion. I don't know. You have to read this stuff because the person who does it is semi-incompetent, and we've established that many times, right?
Yeah.
Inconsistent and incompetent. I don't blame Dylan. I blame you. You got to read it.
I will.
Okay.
Okay.
The problem is life is just close enough to make me screwed up. Okay, Artie, we got it. The word guide to living.
Yeah. Guide might be a little misleading if you read the book. It doesn't really guide you anywhere. Again, you need these subtitles. Now, pornos are like that too. Pornos have stopped being creative with the titles. Pornos now have three elements to the title. They have the ethnicity of the person, what body part they're concentrating on, and the number of sequel. It's like it's just a big fucking Portuguese tits 9.
I'm thinking yellow armpits.
That's what this book is kind of like.
Artie, also Crashing, just renewed for season 3, which is coming.
Is this really
soon.
Artie Lange?
That's great. That's great. It's been renewed because we've been shooting season 3 for 4 weeks. The renewal. I tell you, working with Judd Apatow, well, you know this, Adam, if you're successful, is working with someone who gets money for a budget. It's unbelievable how different it is than anything else I've been on. 4 cameras with 35 millimeter film going at once. It's insane. So it's easy.
Crashing is one of my favorite shows on TV. I just love it.
I've heard you say that.
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of yours on the show, and I actually we should all sort of praise Judd Apatow because almost everything that guy, every pie that guy puts his thumb in, I end up liking a slice of. Yeah. Artie, how is the drugs and the sobriety treating you, or lack thereof?
The difference in this interview with me and in others is. And others, I was always insanely lying about all of that. Now I can't because I have these are court-ordered rehabs. So I'm drug tested, urine tested 3 times a week. And it takes opiates or cocaine 4 days to get out of your system, so there's no way to beat it. And they call it penis in cup, which means a guy has to watch your penis go in the cup. So you don't have a tube or something. Yeah.
That guy's humble bragging to get the reunion. Hey, what are you up to, Tim?
Yeah, penis is PIC for short.
I'm working with Artie Lange, you know.
Yeah. I'd rather be the tit and bra guy than the penis and cup guy, but if you have to, you have to.
Lawrence Taylor used to buy clean piss from a guy. And the greatest thing ever is before the NFC Championship game, and I think 89 when he got suspended, the guy sold him dirty piss. He bought piss that had cocaine.
You had one job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am right now as clean as I've been in a long time because I spent 2 months in Los Angeles County Jail when I was 28, and I was not far removed from a blue collar life at that point. So 2 months in LA County was like Shangri-La compared to 5 days in North Essex County Jail in New Jersey. which I did about 6 months ago, it's literally a shithole. And I would do anything not to go back there. That is a deterrent jail. So I am right now clean.
So how long have you been clean, and what's the schedule of the Dick in the Cup guy?
Well, I think he has racquetball too. He's a by the book guy. It's 3 times a week, always the same guy. And I've been clean now for a month and 2 days because that's when I'm not gonna lie to you. I got high right up until probation started. I had a last hurrah, and a month and 2 days ago is when I had to stop.
Well,
you know what? Suboxone is the thing you're on. It's a modern day methadone. The court accepts it. So that's what I take to stop the withdrawals. But besides that, you know.
Well, I think I speak for a lot of people who sort of feel like Artie Lange is a national treasure, and you know, I've never all the things Artie Lange has done to make people not love him over the last decade hasn't worked. Every time I talk to someone, like, oh, we love Artie. Everyone's pulling for Artie. Everyone's rooting for Artie. It'd be nice if that would work. I mean, it'd be nice if Artie stayed sober and Artie, you know, did books and did stand-up specials and done, you know, movies and season 3 of Crashing. We like that Artie. What do you think the chances of that Artie sticking around are?
Well, I got to tell you something. It'd be nice if those people you talk to also were executives of networks and not just had their own bread route every morning in Jersey City. I need powerful people to love me. Look, you know, that's a great question, man. And I don't know how much of this is just purely wanting to stay out of jail. You know, I'm someone, I never got those things that people say. I looked at my baby's eyes. I stopped doing drugs. I've had 4 fiancés technically that all ended in fiery wrecks. One girl got an abortion without telling me. I'd have a 22-year-old son right now if this we'll call her a whore, didn't get an abortion without telling me 23 years ago in L.A. And I've never had that thing, a wife and family, to go, I'm going to stop. The business never really kicked me out, you know, fully. I'd probably be a little more successful if I didn't do dope, but who knows? Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe that's what people like about me. I don't know. I hope he sticks around because it's way less expensive. And the withdrawals from heroin are brutal. You know, cocaine, if you got to take a pick, I'd do cocaine if I was a kid because there's no physical withdrawals and you shit better.
Is this really Artie Lange?
And also, I don't know what you're doing with the stand-up. You should be speaking to students.
Gather around, kids.
Well, people always say to me, you do so much heroin, how come you're not constipated? Because the big thing about heroin is that to me is the single most grotesque piece of gossip I ever read or heard about. Bobby Brown had to pull pieces of shit out of Whitney Houston's ass because she was constipated from opiate use. And Bobby Brown physically, he said this in an interview, pulled shit out of her ass.
I don't think that was his prerogative. I feel like that's what she wanted him to do.
Working some
I see what you did there. It's his prerogative.
Working some Activia. Talk to Jamie Lee Curtis. Help you with that.
Oh, so Artie,
I got nothing to approach that joke. I was eating popcorn in my ass, love nothing. His prerogative. No, so I never had that problem, and the reason is for kids, is the way to avoid constipation. You got to do a lot of cocaine with the heroin.
Oh, there you go.
Baby laxatives.
So, Artie, how long are you on probation and going to undergo this penis and cup 3 times a week protocol?
Okay, now that's where I take a little bit of an issue with this. 4 years. But I'm going to repeat that. I could get a marketing degree at Montclair State University in the time I'll be 54. If I make it there, but when I'm off probation.
But isn't this a good thing for you? Because it's the only thing that keeps you sober, right?
Okay, now look, you're right so far. But if I slip up, look, I'm telling you, right, I'll know if I slip up. You know if you're going to pee dirty, you know if you party or something like that. If I get weak at a gig or something like that, or if, to me, the devil, a hot chick with coke or you know, wants me to do it with her and there's a possibility of sex, and I give in, and I know I'm going to pee dirty, I seriously might Roman Polanski it. I don't know. I might get out of town. But I hope it's a good thing. 4 years is a long time not to screw up for somebody like me.
Yeah, but I think you're at a good age for it because it's hard. When you're 23, you got a lot more screwing up to do. When you're 50,
absolutely,
you don't get a lot more screwing up chances. So let's.
No, your friend Dr. Drew, who's been, I got to tell you, he's been a very, very good guy to me. He calls me personally. I used to think he wants me to be on Celebrity Rehab or something, and he really has shown himself to be a guy who cares about me. He saw me at the Comedy Cellar recently, and he calls me if I screw up. And when Philip Seymour Hoffman died, that was really crazy because we were the same exact age, 46, and there was him on the cover of the New York Post, like the recent picture that he had taken. It might as well be me looking in a mirror. I mean, I looked exactly like him, disheveled and almost gone. And Dr. Drew called me up and said, look, not a lot of opiate addicts make it to 50, so think about it. You got 4 years. So I really have that in my head, like I'm on borrowed time. Which I really am. I mean, a lot of money changed hands on the internet when I turned 50. I don't know. Adam, you bring up a great point. I should settle down. 50 is a good age for it.
I think it would be a good age for you to settle down in terms of the heroin goes.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Adam. You have a lot of creative output for someone who, you come off as a guy who's a little laid back. You're definitely a lot smoother as far as looking overly ambitious than a lot of asswipes in this business. But you made a couple of movies. One about a boxer, one about a comedian. You did The Road, and where are you in life as far as creatively satisfied? Could you quit doing this? Not financially, just in your head. Are you okay with what you've done?
I think I could slide into a role where I made a couple of documentaries a year, probably. Right. I do feel like...
That's interesting.
But I do feel like almost every day I have something new to say that I want to say to people. So I never really think of that as a grind any more than saying, if you and I went out to lunch every day for an hour and you just gave me some observations and I'd give you some observations.
Right.
I do also believe that whether you're swimming or boxing or playing baseball, you should not look like you're burning a lot of calories.
Smooth, effortless.
Yeah, the guys that are really fast swimmers don't look like they're trying that hard. They're just moving. Right. And I feel that way in life. You don't have to flail around a lot. You can get a lot done sort of quietly and smoothly. And that's what I sort of intend to do.
Yeah, no, that's an excellent point about what we do. It's I look at myself sometimes when I'm on the road. I take a shower, and I have to go on stage at 8:30, and it's 8:28, and I'm at a Marriott in St. Louis, and I look in the mirror, and I go, there are 1,200 people who this is their Saturday night. I'm looking at their Saturday night. They paid money, they went to dinner, and that is what's in the mirror is supposed to entertain them. And I do look like the guy's going to put the cable in. And I think that's what people do like that. That used to be the essence of cool. You look like you're not trying, like Miles Davis or something. But now the problem with comedy to me is they look a little too gung-ho, and podcasting, it is a great thing. It doesn't feel like work. It shouldn't if you're good at it. And I feel like that too. I want to bitch a little more about stuff. And that's a great forum to do it. But I mean, look, man, to make a movie, and by the way, the Paul Newman thing I really enjoyed. It's something that, I know. I at 50 years old, that's another reason. That should be a reason to stay clean, because I do feel like there's other shit I want to do, and talk about. Because the one thing I'm decent at is bitching on the radio,
Well, what I started to figure out somewhere, and maybe it was after having a couple of kids, I started figuring out that almost everything I did just kind of went up into the ether and wasn't really capturable. So you go out and do stand-up, or you do a radio show, and it just kind of blows up it just kind of goes up into the atmosphere. Now you make a documentary, or you write a book called Wanna Bet? A Degenerate Gambler's Guide to Living on the Edge, and that's something someone can hold in their hand and possibly even crush a bug with at some point later on in life. And so you start thinking, I'd like to leave some stuff behind. There was a John Hyatt song when in some line of it, he just goes, he's feeling so low. And at some point he goes, I can't even prove that I'm alive. And I thought, even doing stand-up in a weird way, when you're done, you're just done. If you think about all the stand-ups who never had their, HBO specials or whatever, just guys you'd heard of, they're just gone.
Yeah.
They're certainly on the road. You feel that way on the road after a show. You're like, you're right. It's up in the ether. The thousands of laughs I think I got on the Stern Show just because I was there for so long. You're right. It doesn't feel like there's a record of it even. Or somebody happens to YouTube you by accident.
Right.
Even I started out doing like Mad TV. I was on that for 2 years, and they were crazy years. But there's sketches I left behind that are real things that I'm proud of. The books are certainly that. I always say like it's an actual physical thing. The Godfather has 3 films, and the DVD I used to say this in my act is a perfect thing to get the trilogy for a party because you watch 1 and 2 and do cocaine off of 3.
And by the way, let's not forget the lasting impression you've left on the guy who watches you put your dick in a cup 3 times. That guy will be your legacy.
Yeah, he'll tell his children, his children's children.
They will pass it down to their grandchildren.
Yeah. Gather around, kids. I got a story for you.
Yeah, it'll be like Princess Bride.
Or well, everyone knows the story about Bobby Brown pulling shit out of Whitney's ass. But guess what I did?
When I was your age.
No, you're right. Again, Beer League, like the movie I made during the Stern Show. People, when you look back at the insane failure it was at the box office, the lack of success it had commercially, but it's something I'm really proud of. Like Frank Sebastian, the kid I did it with, we love it, and the kids. There's people who were our target audience who love it too, and. Even though it didn't make any money, it didn't get me to the next level on any level in show business. Me and Frank can still say we're happy we did it because it's something we left behind that is a physical thing we're proud of. I mean, the Stern Show is too in the sense that, and your shows too, they're documented somewhere, but they don't feel, certainly stand up on their own. Like, it's in the ether. It doesn't feel like you left anything behind. That sucks because it's thousands of hours.
Yeah, it's interesting, and if we want to just really break it down and instead of Suboxone, we take some, mushrooms and really dig deep here. But
peyote.
One could say that the impression you left with those people when you go, like we all ask me the first concert I ever went to. I went to see the Cars with my buddy Jeff Katz. I remember seeing the Cars. It's not written down anywhere, and there's no commemorative medallion or anything. It's just in my psyche, And there are thousands of people who remember seeing Artie Lange and will remember seeing Artie Lange. And even though can't be put in a lucite case like a home run ball, it's in a way it penetrated even deeper.
No, you're right. I mean, first of all, what an appropriate band for you to see, the Cars, for the first time. And,
love a pair of sense.
My first, it's funny. My first concert, AC/DC, at 13 years old, and I will never. I mean, the song "Hell's Bells." My God, I remember exactly how Brian Johnson riffed on that one.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't a band called Jacks Off the Scrambled Porn, so I had to go with my second choice, which was Cars. The Cars.
How about the guy who directed and left behind Big Fucking Portuguese Tits 9?
He's a hero. And that's true. That's a legacy. He left it behind.
There are people who, even though, like I say, I've never gotten higher than maybe like a D or a C list celebrity thing, but I was on a show for a little while that was, the top of the game of its thing, the Yankees of radio. I got to be on it, and you realize how intimate, this too, the radio fan is to a radio performer. It's different than television. They feel like you're their buddy, like you went to work with them in the morning or put them to bed at night, and it's almost extra special for them to meet you. Like, a guy came up to me about a year ago at a Yankee game, and he was getting close to me. And I'm like, okay, this guy recognized me. Was he a weirdo? And he was sweating, and he was overweight. It was odd. And out of the corner of his mouth, he goes like this, I don't want to blow up your spot, but in 2003, I had breakfast with you at the Pittsburgh airport. And I realized it was very special to him, and I thanked him for bringing that up, and he walked away. Now, if that meant a lot to him, think about what the stand-up meant to him.
Oh, yeah.
But it's odd.
Well, all that being said, again, books, good. Episodes of Crashing, good. And, the longer you can hang around and create, the bigger your footprint's going to be, Artie. So, on a positive note, why don't you not lament that 4 year of being suspended, or not being suspended, but being on parole for 4 years, and look at that as a mitzvah, as your people would say. That
I'm Italian, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about the comedy. Yeah. Either way, it's a good thing, and it's probably going to keep you sober for all those years, and then by then you will have strung together, 4 years, 1 month, and 1 day. Or whatever you have.
Nice. It would be nice to come back and talk about that. I thought you would actually go into the Footprints poem after the Footprints.
It was then that Adam carried you.
I was on the beach, and yeah. So, Artie Lange, the book is Wanna Bet. It's a degenerate gambler's guide to living on the edge. Artie, so funny and so much to offer. Please keep doing that drug testing, and I'll talk to Dr. Drew about you a little bit later on. But I like living in a world with Artie Lange, although not in the same state. Yeah. Thanks.
Likewise, my friend. Next book, Penis and Cup.
Penis and Cup. Thank you.
Adam, thank you, my man.
Thanks, Artie.
Really nice to have me on. I appreciate it. Love you.
Thank you, Artie Lange, everybody. Oh, it'd just be nice if Artie was able to beat those drugs, stick around, and keep.
Need more Artie in our lives.
Yeah, well, you can just tell. No matter what state Artie's in, he has that gift. He has that ability to connect those ideas and connect those thoughts, and that's very rare. And I think we can all appreciate it. And being up on stage with him is just fun. He just belongs on stage. He just comes alive on stage. All right. I'll tell you about LifeLock. Don't take a quickie break. We'll do some news right after that. But first, LifeLock. Ironically, thieves are turning back to stealing from mailboxes. Thieves use sticky rat traps tied to strings to pull envelopes out of government mailboxes. So many threats in today's digital world. Good thing LifeLock identity theft protection now includes the power of Norton Security for added protection. LifeLock uses proprietary technology to help protect against identity theft. Like if your info's on sale on the dark web, you don't want that. Norton helps protect against online threats like ransomware. If you have a problem, their agents will work to fix it. But you're not going to have a problem. You're not going to have to worry about a problem because you have the best. And I want to thank LifeLock, LifeLock.com. Enter Adam for this half of the show. TrueCar, TrueCar.com. Download that app, and Geico, Geico.com.